Welcome back to the Kaspa Silver YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be covering some news topics for Kaspa. So let's get straight into it and take a look at the price action. So far, Kaspa has just been consolidating above this 2 cent area. Now, it looks like we have a really huge resistance at this 2.5, 2.6 area. And then really, we won't really see any breakouts further up towards the upside until we break out that 2.8. That 2.8 is a major resistant level from the past and right now currently. So we're pretty much going to be in consolidation zone right now. On the 4 hourly chart here, you could see that the RSI is pretty much in the 52 area. And I typically only look at RSIs just to determine if we're like in the overbought, oversold territory. I currently did buy some more today. I usually always buy on Mondays because Mondays are usually dips in the market, and the low for today was 231. I actually secured some a little bit under the 2.4, and I just always wait for Mondays to dollar cost average in. That's pretty much my strategy with this because I am long-term investing, just holding. So also, if we're looking on the weekly chart though, you could see that on the weekly, it looks like we're forming a trend reversal on the RSI here, where it looks like we're about to cross over to possibly start going on the overheated side again. And then on the stochastic, it's also reversing towards the upside. You can see this candle right here is, I'm pretty sure that's like a Dragonfly Doji candle right there, where usually that means that there could be a trend reversal that happened back over here with this candle when you just have a really huge long tick that went all the way down and then it just kind of recovered really fast in that candle. And then you could see that we had two more red candles and then we had a reversal eventually. RSI was just completely oversold in these areas. The stochastic was showing that. Not on the weekly though, the RSI is still pretty much up there high. So it's kind of hard to know exactly where Kaspa is going to go. There's just so much different news things coming out for Kaspa. The market sentiment is huge for it. TA is not really the easiest way to know what's going to happen next. People keep trying to tell me, we're going to see under a penny again. And they were telling me that when we were at the 1.5 area, that we're going to go under a penny. We're going to see 0.005. And they were clearly mistaken. Now, could it happen? Definitely it could happen. I'm going to talk about a little bit of something that's really important to realize and understand, because it could be a little bit of a concern of the distribution of Kaspa, and I'll talk about that later in this video. So I just want to talk about some listings that we have. So it's currently Swapica, which is basically like another Stealth X or Change Now kind of exchange, is listed Kaspa. So it's an easy way to swap in and out of other currencies and get directly into your wallet. So if you're interested in another place to maybe try it out, you can use Swapica. I personally recommend using Change Now. Change Now has been super good for me. I've been testing it and it's super fast to get Kaspa. I'm currently testing to sell Kaspa, just testing it to see how fast it is. And that is a little bit on the slower end to be selling Kaspa directly into a cryptocurrency, but it does work. So Change Now is really good. I do have a video on that. A new exchange is called Bitpanda. Bitpanda is a new exchange that's going to be releasing Kaspa on the 13th of this month. So just 3 days from now. So don't be scared. It's just Kaspa currency with its Ghost Stack protocol. Missed last week's Bitpanda spotlight. Don't worry, because a new countdown is live. So here we're just waiting for Kaspa to finally get listed on Bitpanda. It's a pretty decent centralized exchange. I'm hearing that they're similar to Uphold. So not sure if they're going to have withdrawals right away, but we will see what happens there. Just also recapping the fact that now Kaspa is integrated with Ethereum. There is now a wrapped version of Kaspa, which allows bridging to Ethereum. So thrilling news, Kaspa will now be bridged to Ethereum with the launch of Wrapped Kaspa on Finance Change Dex mobile app. This means direct asset transfer from CAS to ETH and access to Ethereum vast DeFi ecosystem. You can already actually see the Wrapped Kaspa on the watch list that I have right here. You can see they put it on CoinMarketCap, Wrapped Kaspa, and you could see that currently it's sitting at like the 2.5 area. Usually it should be pegged to Kaspa's price, but because of how small it is, it's not going to be exactly accurate. But the more adoption that comes to this, the more closer related to Kaspa it should be. You could see that the recent volume the past 24 hours has been only around $7,500, and the market cap is at $31,000. It's not fully accurate, but not much is being used on the Wrapped Kaspa yet. But it's going to be really interesting to see what may come in the future. with that, here's a clip that I want to show you about Bitcoin ETF, because Bitcoin ETF is bullish for the whole entire crypto market, including Kaspa. So the fact that we're getting super close to possibly getting this ETF launch is going to be crazy news for the market. And I was watching a video today of someone saying that this may be the last bull run that we're gonna see, that's like a normal crazy 10x gains and 100x gains and all that kind of stuff. Because I think once the institutions get in like this, we're gonna start seeing an industry that's gonna now move away from crazy volatility and start to actually have normal kind of growth over time, similar to the stock market. So let's go ahead and take a look at this clip real quick.
Can they say no to a spot ETF?
Well,
for how much longer?
Well, it goes to that issue. I think that when the SEC approved the futures-based ETF, they said, let's look at the futures market. We see the surveillance. We see the protections in that market for the end investor that are sufficient. We don't see them in the spot market, so we're going to make that distinction. I think what the institutions are arguing is that those distinctions have gone away, and now the spot product is actually less drag, more efficient for the investor. So if there's not that delta in regulation, not that delta in what I could say efficacy, the spot should be approved. That's the argument that's going on right now. Look, the regulatory process, whether it doesn't matter.
Been a while already.
It's been a while already. What I would say is this: if they're right, that you can demonstrate that the spot market has similar efficacy to the futures market, it would be hard to resist approving a Bitcoin ETF.
Yeah, so there you have it. This is a former SEC chairman says spot Bitcoin ETF should be approved. So, like I said, this is going to be huge for the market. Personally, I would never buy a Bitcoin ETF because it's just not proper etiquette for crypto. You should have full custody of your own Bitcoin or any kind of crypto. If you buy an ETF, this is not you owning Bitcoin outright. This is BlackRock, Fidelity, or any other kind of institution owning the Bitcoin for you, and you're just buying a fund that tracks Bitcoin itself. BlackRock, though, does have to buy Bitcoin on the spot market. They have to literally just buy the Bitcoin to back up the fund that you're buying if you were to buy this ETF. So essentially, this means that these huge institutions have to start pouring in money into Bitcoin to actually cover their funds. They already mentioned that they want to use Coinbase to custody this Bitcoin. But again, I don't recommend buying this ETF ever. Buy your Bitcoin outright and self-custody it using a cold storage wallet. That's going to be your best bet on holding Bitcoin for the long term. So I just want to also mention that the Kaspa hardware wallets that were for OneKey, they finally got released and people have been getting them now. This was a limited edition that you could have bought for OneKey that has like the Kaspa logo on it and everything. I wish I bought one. I didn't get to buy one, but I hope they make another limited edition again, because I would definitely buy one and not even open it and just keep it sealed for the long run. I feel like I may buy two of them so I can use one actually. But yeah, these look really, really cool, and they finally got released. It took about a month, so hopefully they make more limited edition ones, and that's really cool. Now, to get into the little concern I have about the distribution of Kaspa. Over the weekend, this happened. So we added another Humpback whale to the address distribution list. So that a Humpback whale is anyone who holds 100 million Kaspa or more. So recently, he was on the top 10. There was a dude that had 100 million Kaspa, completely 100 million, and he was in the top 10 here. He was number 10, literally, and it had like 99 point something million. And something very interesting happened. I tried to look again today. It's gone. That address is no longer here in the top 10. And I'm like, wait, what happened? Is he selling? Is he buying? What is he doing? What is that big whale doing? It's worth over $2.3 million. Well, I went ahead and did some digging of the screenshots I had and made sure I found the address. And I did find the address. This was the original address for that top 10 holder that had 2.3 million Kaspa in there. But as you can see, he only has 644,000 Kaspa. So what's actually going on here? So I did some more digging and I was like, okay, if you look, this guy is literally buying today. He's buying today, and ever since today, $1,800, $1,000. He's literally buying thousands of Kaspa every couple minutes, it looks like here, and he's still buying very, very consistently and it's kind of weird how much they're buying. at a consistent basis. It's very aggressive here. So I kept looking to find what happened to the rest of the Kaspa because it was over 100 million. And as you could see, if we keep going down the list here on, I think, page number 6 here, let's keep looking. We're going to eventually see it where you're going to just start seeing red in the ad. Here we go. So right here, you could see that they were sending over $100,000 worth of Kaspa to other wallets and whatnot. So this is something that's huge for the distribution of Kaspa, because there was someone mentioning that this is one little risk. This is part of the risk of Kaspa, is the distribution. The amount of addresses that you see when you go to the top addresses, and it says 274,000 addresses right now. This does not mean that there's literally 273,000 individual holders. When you make an address, especially if you're using like the Caspian wallet, or if you have the OneKey wallet, if you're using KDX, every time Kaspa is sent to a wallet, it creates a new address to hold that Kaspa. And then sometimes you can consolidate all of your Kaspa into one address, but most of the time people leave it in the multiple of different addresses. So that's why there's so many addresses, but this is not correlated to individual holders. So someone was saying that possibly almost close to 50% of the supply of Kaspa is held by only maybe 200 individual people, which is totally possible. So this to me is something super interesting to see how the distribution of Kaspa is going to work in the future. How, as we continue going up, when are people, these bigger whales, planning to sell? Obviously, that whale that became a humpback over the weekend and was listed in the top 10 is a clear sign of some kind of conviction, some reason why they're buying at this level, at the 0.025 level. That's bullish in my opinion, why someone like that is buying. There's tons of catalysts still for Kaspa. We don't have smart contracts, we don't have major listings or anything like that. So looking at the future outlook of Kaspa, there's tons of catalysts to show that there's something that these people are, there's a reason why they're buying it this cheap here and at this level, and they're not waiting for any lower levels. They're just trying to accrue right now. But it is just interesting to see how that distribution is going to work. So, my idea is for sure long-term holding, but I'm definitely creating a strategy to sell a certain amount of profit to secure some profits, because I don't think it's smart to just kind of just sit through everything, because again, there's still risk to Kaspa. There's, it's an investment. So if you do have a substantial amount of money in profit, there's nothing wrong with ever taking profits. I'm not against people who sell. There's always reasons why people need to sell. Taking a profit is good. So just make sure that you do form a good strategy to actually sell. What I also added was in my private Discord, if you go to the Google Sheets area, I made a Google Sheet that actually lets you put in your exact amount of Kaspa, and then it's going to show you what price it will be if it 5x's, 10x's, and so on and so forth. And if you do want access to this Discord and also access to the sheet so that you can do this yourself and kind of just see some statistics of your holdings to maybe formulate a plan, you can get access to this if you join my Patreon, which is down below in the description. It's $15 a month. It helps support my channel, and it also helps me give you guys value. This video went out live to my Patreon subscribers. If they were subscribed and they're in the Discord, you guys can see this video before it goes out live to everybody else. You also get weekly giveaways of free Kaspa. You get Google Sheets so you can see more statistics of your investments. You get to see all my portfolios, and you get to talk to me on a one-on-one basis, basically, and just converse with other like-minded people in the Discord. So if you're interested in getting that, consider joining the Patreon. And so lastly, I just want to end that this is a very interesting statistic here, and looking at that wallet address, you could see that they were sending a ton of money out of the address to maybe consolidate into another address. So this one person probably has multiple addresses. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. And as always, don't be average, be different.